Welcome back to Healing, but also Digital Devil Saga. Last time we began our trap for Bat and set a bunch of bombs on this deserted ship and also talked about Cielo and how he's actually good. And this time we're going to be continuing talking about how Cielo is actually good by getting him a new mantra. 25,000 for this one. Yes, here we go. Sonic Wave, Stun Wave, Void Nerve, Null Charm. Yeah, I'll definitely take that one. And now Surf got Ice Wolf, Ice Master, Bufudine, and Ice Amp. Yeah, those were a little beyond us in terms of money, though. Actually, I don't think what to do with Gale first. Although, granted, I could spend this much on getting Iron Stomach on Gale. That could help a lot. Especially if I'm going for a Debilitate. So now Surf needs a really, really cheap mantra. Oh, actually only a little bit more and he could get Fallen Hero for Medea? I think I'd rather go for that. It's only going to be a fight or two before I actually get enough for that. So for now, I'm going to not take my own advice and have Surf not fighting with a mastered mantra. It won't last long. I really want that Fallen Hero. I actually got Medea on Surf quite early into my Digital Devil Saga 2 playthrough, and that definitely helps a lot in boss fights. I was saying before that, like, you know, regular Dia was as far as I'd take Surf in the mantra grid, but Medea for boss fights does help quite a bit. Like, casting Dia individually on every party member actually costs 1 MP less, because it's 3 per cast. So you cost 9 for the whole party, whereas Medea, 1 cast of that is 10. So it's more efficient outside of battle to heal with Dia. But Medea is good for boss fights, because it heals everyone at the same time. It's kind of cool how they balance the... I've always wondered, like, I think I actually may have mentioned this in a different, like, LP, but, like, I've always wondered just how people think about, like, the game developers think about how to balance the MP cost of skills in RPGs. Like, just how much MP do you make each skill cost? But okay, so we have this thing, it's spelled differently in most games. This is like back in the Nocturne days where they actually weren't good at writing the names of Chinese demons. But this is based off of a Chinese legendary goat that fights evil with its horn. Terazi, Agulao, Avalanche, Tarunda, weak to Earth and Mute, Null Poison. So, good thing that I put Earth on the one who just moved. Okay. Right then. I guess I can try Shockwave. And let's just... Yeah, weak to Mute is a little weird. There aren't a whole lot of, like, Mute skills at this point. I mean, I don't think that, like, Mute doesn't really help you kill the enemy faster. It just makes them not cast spells. But it's just, yeah, like, you don't really need to stop the enemy casting spells, really. It's just kind of, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Mute skills in this game, except in one very specific situation, but we'll get to that way later. It's an optional boss fight, and, let's just say that, you really kind of want MP drain for that fight. It helps quite a lot. Speaking of things I want, yeah, I've got enough marker now for Fallen Hero on Surf, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I do quite like this part. I feel like this is the part of the game where your builds really start coming to their own. Like the mantra grid builds that you've been doing. Because like this is well and truly mid-game. We're even starting to approach the mid to late game now. As I said before, DDS is not a particularly long JRPG. It kind of, like, that's kind of a good thing too, because, you might have noticed, and this is actually something that I, like, a long time ago when I was talking about Digital Devil Saga, like, way a long time ago in terms of, like I've been planning on playing this game for a long time, like, since, like, 2016, in, like, update videos. Oh, meanwhile, cutscene.
Too bad Sarah isn't here, sucker. Flying can't save your ass in here. There's no escaping this time. Why did you sell to not out?
Ask your idiot friend. He'd do the same thing. Oh, but you'll never see him again. Not after I devour you. Janana was delicious.
You're coming. No, you bastard!
So yeah, Bat being the one who listened in on us with Janana and being left alone with her corpse after we didn't devour her, yeah, that happened. It does add to the whole personal conflict between him and Argilla, though. Like, Bad is definitely a love-to-hate villain done right. Like, you just really want to kill that guy badly. And we'll get our chance, don't worry. Yeah, we do probably want to start getting to the Dyne skills soon. Yes, Serve taking significantly less on a weakness than another character takes from a neutral hit, because magic is OP. Again, Reinhardt will be very proud. Probably need to heal a little bit after that. But yeah, what I was saying was, I've been like planning on playing this game in update videos for a while, and when I kind of first started playing this, I think I mentioned something that like, this game it can be a little draining to play for long periods at a time, because there wasn't a door I missed, was there? I'm gonna go back and check. In fact, now that the Earth-weak enemies are showing up in large groups, I'm gonna take Avalanche over Tarazi. Yes indeed, there was a door here that I missed. Good to know. But yes, what I was saying was that we have a lot of caved-in doors, thankfully the ones that are openable and marked on the map, it can be, like I was saying back then, this game can be a little bit draining to play for a long period of time, because like, it is basically nothing but dungeons, like constant dungeons, until the end of the game. Like, there's no towns, no real social link or anything equivalent of that, like, no real downtime. It is basically constant dungeons, and there is kind of a beauty to that, honestly, and especially because this game is not, like, super long or anything. It does kind of benefit from that brevity. I love the brevity of the cutscenes as well in this game, in the sense that, like, that's a weird sound. That, like, I feel like all of this game's cutscenes say exactly what they need to and no more. They are just as long as they need to be. Oh, also the submachine gun with, Cielo, I believe, targets, like, all enemies at once, or at least randomly. I think it's basically like Arn's gun, but worse, from Persona 5. Though that, you know, came out way later than this game. But yeah, it's kind of a criticism of a lot of modern games that some people have, is that, basically, some people feel like the cutscenes, like, I've seen that criticism levied at Fire Emblem Engage a few times, that the cutscenes just, like, go on for a little bit longer than they need to, even though they've kind of said what they needed to. Whereas here, like, you know, you basically, like, the cutscenes, they don't, you know, I've said it, you know, they are exactly as long as they need to be. And I do kind of miss that. I feel like modern games, because there's more space on the disc, they feel like, oh, we can get away with having so many big, long cinematic cutscenes and stuff, but sometimes less is really more. So the limitations of the older medium can work in their favor here. And yeah, even if a high counterattack misses, then it's not going to give any more press turns. Considering that this came out around, like, a little bit earlier than Persona 3, I want to say high counter is a 50% activation rate, because it is in Persona 3, and it's kind of broken in that regard, there. It's still funny how they actually stack, though, Counter-Strike, and high counter, in this game, at least. Yeah, the downside of Avalanche is that if it only hits a single enemy once, it's a lot weaker than Tarazi, but for multiple enemies, I like having access to Avalanche. Okay, there's a terminal here. Not that I really need it, but it's appreciated. Because there should... I want to say there is a mini-boss coming up. So down here we go, and into here. I'm pretty sure this should be a bomb room. Yeah, it is. So glad I didn't miss this half of the dungeon. This dungeon's actually deceptively simple in terms of layout. It's generally pretty small corridors and not a whole lot of branching paths. However, yep, that was the door. Yeah, I knew it. There was a mini-boss coming up. Just a stupid coward, huh? Well, Cielo blurted out there was a trap, but we're gonna kill them anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's a whole bunch of skulls at once. It's funny, like, normally you'd think of the attack Skull Cleave as, like, cleaving your skull, but no, it's cleaving you with a skull. However, they're not really, you know, the Chatter Skulls aren't really that great, although I might need to Medea with, you here. Yeah, wow, does that heal less than Surf would? It's like almost half how much Surf would. But that's all, really? I guess I was thinking of a different mini-boss. There's a different mini-boss in here that has, let's just say that it's a fan favorite Shin Megami Tensei demon. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to seeing it. Probably should hit the save point, but I'm gonna live on the edge and not do it. Now, this music's a little bit on the nose. Like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, the tension themes in Ace Attorney. But still, it's okay for what it is. Still love these noises. It almost sounds like they're saying a very muffled, like, au revoir something. My apologies for not even trying to pronounce the name of this. It's just like, I'm not good with Chinese, and this Chinese name is wrong anyway. A lot of them, like, again, like, a lot of the Nocturne era renderings of the Chinese demons are, like, wrong in terms of, like, how they're written. Like, for example, there's one that, like, people call, that was always called in Nocturne, like, Feng Huang. It's not Feng Huang at all. I think it was actually Persona 3 Reload that fixed that one to Ho-Or, which is what it was always meant to be. And then sometimes it's also called Phoenix, whereas Phoenix is the Western equivalent. And yes, Ho-Or is what the Pokemon is based off of as well. Actually, I probably can afford to take this one. Oh, okay, Matarazi. Nobody in the party is weak to Earth, though, so that's not really going to be that useful against us. It's cool that even non-mini-boss enemies can use combo attacks, though. I am one of those people who barely know the difference between a submachine gun and an assault rifle. But yeah, sometimes I feel like I say bad things about America too much, but like, I'm gonna chalk it up to not being American. And okay, usually the longer hallway paths are, okay, we've got a heal point here. And I have a decent amount of money, so I may as well use this. Well, by decent amount, I have like, 34,000 yen. Marker is not great for this point because we're starting to slowly approach the mantras that require 100,000 each, so yeah, but we have a lot of cells to... It's still weird that it's like, oh, cells. It's like they're the things you sell, and they're called cells. Anyway. Kick. Okay, there you go. You got Fallen Hero, so you have Medea and Porzamudi and Aikdi. I guess Aikdi technically means I only need Disaches, but having to set it every time you want to, cure a stomachache, 2 left to set. Now, I believe from this point, we've done basically everything. Well, we've gone most places we can go via the elevator. Naga's a demon that changes weaknesses in a lot of games. I think what it was weak to in Nocturne, but I know that in, like, it's weak to wind in Persona 5. Okay, or we go up here. I know that we end up heading outside the ship eventually, because there's something on the outside of the ship that's very important, because it's good for devouring. Yeah, I want to devour these things because Surf is on a mastered mantra. I forget if the Chatter Skulls make you get stomachaches more easily, but they seem like the kind of demon that would do that. Okay, this definitely sounds like progress. I'm going to head down the other way first. Just one sheep, probably not worth it. Failed to run from a sheep. I mean, given that it's blue and has wool, like, this actually does look a bit like a Mareep. Obligatory mention of the fact that the first time I played Pokemon Gold and Silver, I would not have guessed that Mareep had 3 evolutions. I thought that it stopped at Flaffy, because Ampharos does not look like the rest of them. It doesn't have wool. It's not even a sheep. It's a lighthouse. What is the logic of a sheep evolving into a lighthouse? Then again, what is the logic of a gun-shaped fish evolving into a tank-shaped octopus? By the way, the original designs of Rim Raid and Octillery were so much cooler than the final designs we got. Maybe they thought they were a bit too hardcore for a kid's game, because they definitely looked a lot more like a revolver and a tank. This looks like, yep, this seems very nothing-shaped. I hope this other path isn't nothing. No, it's the opposite of nothing. It is progress. One left to set. And is this the one? Yeah, they've figured out about the bombs. They need to die right now. Oh, no, it's Gur, okay. I know that a certain fan-favorite demon shows up in this dungeon, but it's not now. So Gur is an evil eagle from Sri Lankan mythology. It's generally thought to be a demonization of the Hindu Garuda, because Sri Lankan Buddhism and Hinduism traditionally didn't get along very well. It's weak to guns, elect, and expel, nulls earth, and repels death. So, okay then. This might be a situation where maybe Surf can transform? Or revert, I mean? It may be dead before we get a chance to actually, you know, do the thing, though. I probably shouldn't. Especially since Surf is kind of low on health right now. So let's switch over and go, it is weak to expel, so I guess I can try Hammer on it. Okay, no fear. But yeah, with my... Wow, even with the weakness, it didn't really do a whole lot. Okay, there it goes. Stop setting up Force Drain, please. Stop blocking Mazan-K. Okay, they do null guns as well, sorry. Sometimes I forget the exact specifics of what they null. Could you not use Force Drain this time? Well, you responded by killing Cielo. Okay, good. If I got insanely unlucky there, that could have been a game over. I believe Mahmudo was like a 30% chance, so that would have had to have been like legendarily bad luck. But it's happened before. Like, you know, so I'm sure it's happened to someone, because SMT. Now I can finally use Force on you. And... Nom nom nom. Nope, okay. Oh, again, legendarily bad luck. Thankfully, no. I mean, it would, to be honest, it would be really funny, but yeah, didn't get it. Oh, I really need to go to a Karma terminal with Surf. When is the fun mini-boss gonna show up? So I'm waiting for the fun to arrive. Because certainly, that mini-boss is considered a very fun demon. I mean, sheep are also fun sometimes. Except they sound a little bit like pigs when they die. Whereas the sheep in an earlier dungeon sounded like cows. They've got all of the animal sounds mixed up. Okay, 2 chests here. I guess these are the possessions of whoever slept in these beds. Chakra drop. That's actually quite good. Earth weak, and then fire weak. Yeah, it does, in my head, it always sounds to me like Kono Orewa. Which typically in, like, Japanese media is usually the start of, like, the sentence, how could I be defeated? Or how could one such as I be defeated? And a revival gem, yeah, this must have been the high-class area of the ship. I have never actually gone on a cruise ship before, and I probably don't want to. Also, I just realized this is actually the second SMT cruise ship dungeon I've done on this channel, considering that we also have a cruise ship dungeon in Persona 5, but, I want to say, like, for Spectacle, the P5 one is pretty cool, but I want to say I like this one better. Okay, we have a terminal here, then, and then, But we had what looked like clear progress before, but maybe this is, this seems to loop around. Okay, so let's take a new mantra on Surf. Yeah, I said before that you don't have any force skills. I'm gonna actually take, like, I'm gonna go for a super, super cheap mantra here because I want to save up some money to see if I can get a 100,000 marker mantra for someone. I'm gonna need those soon. Especially, I want to get Gale to as close to debilitate as he can, because I feel like that's, in my opinion, Gale's biggest selling point is how quickly, well, quickly is a relative term, but, like, he is the closest to debilitate. Him and Cielo are the closest to debilitate out of the party members. And in my first playthrough of this game, I got to debilitate early, and it was fun. Very fun. Oh yeah, here we go, this does loop around. So now we can head up here. Let's climb the stairs, yeah. Here they come, rather than the rest of them. And you are... Suiki, okay. Okay, that's fair, starting off with the Mabufudine. Thankfully no one got frozen. But yeah, Suiki is one of the 4 Onis summoned by Fujiwara no Chikata in that Japanese myth, the same one about with Ongyorki. It is the Water Oni, and it is generally weak to fire in almost every game that it appears in this series. And this is no different. Also, we can... I believe these are worth a lot of AP if you devour them. Because they are, like, entire Onis. Well, those head spikes must not be pleasant to eat. Oh, wave! Oh, Cielo's down. I should probably get him back up before the fight ends. Wasn't really keeping track of his health there. Oh. Okay, thankfully he didn't die again immediately. Came close though. And there we go. Oh, Double Master, nice. Okay, so Zahn, Void Force, and Gale has Consume, Hellfang, and AP Divide, and Iron Stomach. Yeah, I want to take that on him now. Whenever you get Iron Stomach, it's generally best to keep this for the rest of the playthrough, because it's just so convenient. You know, I haven't really shown off Consume yet. I guess I can try. Okay, healing up, and going immediately back down to... Although, how... I do almost have 100,000 marker, though, so maybe I should wait a little bit before I go back to that save point and get a different mantra. So I probably want to start... Okay, here we go. Or... Oh, actually, wait, this is a good fight to be untransformed in, because you're weak to guns. So I can just put on auto for this. The gun animations are pretty slow even with auto on. Like, the animations in general do go faster with auto on, but, even with it on, the guns are pretty slow.
Target neutralized.
Oh, nice. Getting voice dialogue from Gale. Yeah, everyone has different voice dialogue in human form. The human form clips are... You're probably not going to see them a little bit less than the others. Ah, so this right here, this is back near where we started the dungeon. I like the sense of continuity there. Oh, right. Yeah, you, Gurulu, are immune to Earth. So I kind of need to kill you off first. Oh, right, you still have Hummer, which I haven't really used much in this dungeon. It is always satisfying when you have all 3 of your press turns lit up, but then that happened. Okay, here we go, I can show Consume. Yeah, that's a lot of damage on a crit, and Iron Stomach means I never need to worry about a stomachache on Gale. Got a cell out of that too. I'll take some more Vitality. Having your MP healed is great. Also, yes, 400 MP at a point where, like the 250s is considered good. Let me just check. I do have 100,000 marker now. So, let's go back down and get ourselves something better on. Okay, this again. No, I don't want Bolt Emperor. I want Dark Spirit, or Dork Spirit. And I probably have enough for something okay on Surf. Not anything huge, but I can get some, better force skills. Now that we have Cielo, I'm not really sure I want to go fully into the Bolt set, because he's kind of the designated Zeo user from this point on. Now, the 100k marker mantras take quite a while to master. You will probably need to use a lot of devours to get what you need for them. Yeah, this setup is actually kind of a pain. Because you in the middle basically stop me. Okay, at this point I might actually want to set regular, like single target Earth now. Except, still, sometimes multi-groups of Earth weak enemies show up like this. Yeah, Dragon Lord is, well, I guess that's the third tier class of Wyvern Riders in Radiant Dawn, but, I mean, yeah. You know, something tells me that the first time I played this game, I actually also made that connection in my head. I wasn't doing commentary at the time, but I was like, yeah, that reminds me of that. This is called, like, Lindworm in Japanese. Also, Dragon Lord being a title in My Little Pony, of all things. Don't die, Cielo, please. Okay, that's good. Strangely, Cielo hasn't really dodged a whole lot for me so far. Also, consume. Yeah, insert joke about, you know, I feel like that's just an overused complaint about, like, every time there's, like, a piece of media that people online don't like, and somebody does not hate it with a frothing passion, people will just say, consume. You're all mindless consumers who will just put out whatever people regurgitate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. People are allowed to like things. Oh, I remember this area. Is there anything in this room? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we're getting close to the part where speedrunners... I think the speedrunner even does a little bit of grinding in this kind of area, because there's an enemy that's about to show up that's really good for AP. Magic noise. I guess Cielo could use a little bit of extra power. I kind of like to spread these stat boosters out evenly, but I'm a little paranoid that I went the right way first. Because if we go through here, there is a heal point and there is a terminal. That sounds an awful lot like this may be the way to... unless it loops around, like the other area. Yeah, for some reason this dungeon is not one that I'm super familiar with, but it's also, like, because this dungeon is, like, it's pretty straightforward overall. Yeah, is this gonna loop around? Well, this is a dead end. Okay, now that's why I didn't get rid of Avalanche. Consume! I seem to remember there was, like, an epic boss quote from some boss called, like, I will consume. Is that, like, Mario, the first Mario RPG? I consume time and I will consume you or something? Okay, well this, now we have, this is the elevator we used, in the first place, isn't it? Pretty sure this is the original elevator. Yeah, because that leads back to the start of the dungeon. I would say these three make a good team, but it's probably just because Surf is in it. He does handle a lot of the heavy lifting. Yeah, even though this is pointless. I like to go into all the rooms anyway because, you know, you can't return to this dungeon after you're, done with it. Is this the trap? Nope. Oh, hang on a minute. I actually think the fun demon is in a trap, not a mini-boss, now that I remember. So this could be the fun demon. How much does auto-crit consume gonna do? Quite a bit. Every time that happens, I always get freaked out, and then I'm like, wait, no, why am I freaking out? I have Iron Stomach. I don't need to worry about stomach aches. There we go. Yep, it's your boy Mothman! Sorry, I only just remember, like, oh yeah, it's a trap, isn't it? And then it's like, oh right, it's specifically this trap. But yeah, Mothman is based on an American cryptid from 1960, but it is weak to Earth in this game. I am very sorry, Mothman, but it is time to see what butterflies taste like. They make kind of sad sounds when they die, too. Oh, they have Counter-Strike, too. Sorry, Mothman! There's like a quest in SMT5 to get like a whole bunch of Mothman or something. because someone thinks they're cute and wants a bunch of them. And, okay, there is still more. Or not. This is just, it's the very, hi there. Again, auto. I guess this is like a stock encounter, just one of these with you in human form. I guess they're trying to tell you, yes, guns are still kind of... There are still things weak to guns this late into the game.
Target neutralized.
Oh, he says that line a lot more than I thought he would. Okay, we're back in this area, which means there may actually be a bomb we need to plant in here. Yeah, these areas are mostly just for flavor. Probably where, like, the crew of the ship were. Okay, getting close to Vidya Raja. I've noticed that, like, regular Dia from Surf is not a full heal a lot of the time at this point. But the thing is, I don't really care because he has so much MP, he can afford to just spam it. There we go. I think that's the last one. So, when we escape with Argilla, that's going to be the boss of the dungeon. So, let's not go for that just yet. Not quite up to that point. Still more in this little area. Okay, that leads back up there. Yeah, this is like the one complicated area of the dungeon. But it's basically done. Like at this point, all I have left is just optional content. Oh, there's the Magni Bomb. So the Magni Bomb is sometimes referred to by speedrunners as the Lagni Bomb, and you can probably tell why. In certain versions, I believe in the PS3 version of this game, if you set if you turn off that certain aspect of like the scaling that makes it so that the performance is a lot faster, the Magni Bomb does lag the game quite significantly. Yep, that should be done. I've got to level up on Surf too. Sonic Wave, Stun Wave, Void Nerve, and Null Charm. That's probably the most important one there, because now, yeah, we haven't even encountered any enemies with Charm yet, and already, Cielo, the guy that's supposedly weak to Charm, now we don't even have to worry about that again. Haven't really been using Sukunda much here. Yeah, as I said before, it does mean that a lot of Cielo's move slots get taken up by these Null skills, but at the same time, I do think it's worth it. Oh, there's something here. Another one of these cells. Yeah, marker is very important, so it's always a good idea to get all the cells here. Because here, now we get to go up this corridor, which is nothing but this opening. Oh, getting close on Dark Spirit, too. Oh, we have over 100,000 marker again. Yeah, the enemies here give a decent amount of money, too, which is good. Yeah, I thought that wouldn't quite be enough, though. I also like how this dungeon forces you to use the new party member. Sadly, like a lot of old game FAQs guides recommend this to be the only place you use Cielo. No, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Cielo's good. Trust me. Ah, there we go. Cielo blocks that now, thanks to his skill. So whenever enemies try and do that to hit his weakness, they're going to lose their press turns. Muda on, Blood Curse. Not really the best skills. I mean, Muda on's okay, but I mostly did that for what comes next. Of course, it's probably going to be 200,000 marker, by my estimate. No, 250,000. Muda on and Death Repel, but it's going to get me closer to that next one, but okay. So, yeah, look at this. Null Mute, Null Nerve, Null Poison, and Tentarafu. Only 50,000 marker, which for this point in the game is not that much. Although I could finally get you Mazanma. I'll take more force on you. By the way, you will want somebody with the 4 shield skills for the boss of this dungeon. So I'm actually going to double back and see what's on the other side of the start of this area. Wow, all these mantra are going to take a while. So, what's up this side? A couple of hanging paintings, some broken windows, and a dead end. So I probably should have gone this way first, but oh well. At least, okay. You know, there is actually some merit in using weaker damaging spells to make it more likely that the enemy gets afraid before you can kill them, so that then you can get, like, instant death devour skills. Hero ration, nah, not the best. Okay, but there is a gold chest in here. No, it looks like Deathblow can inflict curse. Yeah, some attacks still hurt even this late in. Neutron shot. Poison, 88. I guess I can take that on Gale. Yeah, it's a little bit disturbing of a concept that, like, a neutron shot inflicts poison, implying, like, radiation poisoning. Level 36 on Cielo now. That is a lot of phantoms. And now we're up to 80 magic. So, up these stairs, we are back here. Almost at He-10. Almost at He-10. Because in order to get back to around the starting area, we need to head through the outside of the ship. Okay, so now Surf has Zanma and Shockwave and Force Repel, and Gale has a level up. In the outside of the ship, there's a certain encounter that I think always shows up here. Here it is, Hresvelg, based on a giant from Norse mythology that turns into a giant bird, and I guess I can spyglass it. It also has faces on its wings, which is a little creepy. Yeah, so it's very strong, and it can power charge, weak to guns and elect, but here's the thing with Hresvelg. It's not 100% guaranteed. Oh, we got shock, okay. If you can inflict Dormina on it and then use Devil Feast, you get a lot of AP. And a lot of speedruns like to grind against these, just for a little bit. I kind of didn't want to get it shocked just because of that. Thankfully none of you are weak to that. It does get 2 press turns though. And it can power charge. Okay. Like, Dormina's not like, oh, it's all, yeah. Dream Haze is probably better. However, I did get to put it to sleep, and so... with that, we don't get anything because I have Surf mastered, but I guess it would be better if I set Devil Feast on Gale. And I'm going to set, I believe, Dream Haze over Dormina, because I think this has a higher chance of working on a single enemy. Yeah, it's entirely Hresvelg that shows up here. But yeah, if I do that, and then I have Gale Devil Feast. Let's see how much that gives. Oh, it's another one! Okay, that's cool. Okay, we got both of them. It'd be funny if a third one showed up, but look at this. Yeah, they're worth a lot of AP each. So, this is... they will show up in a later area, but, like, if you want to, like, farm AP, this is a very good place to do it at this point. And this dungeon will be gone forever after you finish it the first time. So if you want to take advantage of this, now is the time. Oh, great, Vanity. Of course, Vanity hits Cielo with the one ailment he's not nulling right now, or one of the ailments he's not nulling right now, so that's annoying. Okay, if you make them frightened, then even better, because then you're guaranteed to get Devil Feast on them. Of course, you know, he has his current mantra max, but still. There will be enemies just as good for AP that will show up later, so don't worry too much if you can't quite take advantage of Hresvelg in this dungeon. Okay, healing up with a few items at this Karma Terminal. And in fact, I'll do my mantra management first, because in the next part we're going to be dealing with a certain somebody for the last time, so look forward to that. Yeah, actually, now would be a pretty good time to start getting Ice Amp. Because I think after this dungeon I'll be going for the super ultimate mega ice skill of Doom. I mean, I will actually need MP Thief way later, so I may as well work on that now. So, I'm going to save here, because next time, it's time for the final reckoning. The last days of the Bats. See you all then.